Everybody, and welcome to the California Drought 2014 by me. Table of contents. Introduction. What causes the drought? The challenges life on the Monterey Peninsula. The drought timeline. Dr. Carol Reed slides on drought. How reservoirs affected by drought. Special things. Hints to save water. Quiz. Conclusion. Bibliography. Learn more about drought, and then the end. I just added the 13 for no reason. Introduction. Say hello to Say hello to Bob the fish. Everybody say hi to Bob.
Hi, Bob.
So, introduction. Hello there, family, friends, people from the community. Today I'm going to talk about the California drought, how a drought is caused, what is a drought. I will talk about the challenges of life on the Monterey Peninsula, and also the drought timeline. Also, there will be a quiz after the presentation. Enjoy the show. Everybody say bye, Bob.
Bye, Bob.
I need water. That's what Bob says. So what causes the drought? So temperature and relative humidity, when they both combine together, they equal evaporation. But if the temperature or the relative humidity gets too low, then wind speed and radiation will both combine together, equal potential evaporation, which means that it can suck all that surface water into the atmosphere, and then it can go to evapotranspiration, and then go to critical soil moisture defects, which means soil moisture drought. And soil moisture drought means that all the moisture, like all that energy that the soil has, like nutrients, vitamins, all the soil that needs, is already been sucked and up into the atmosphere, which means that our crops is gonna die, and our crops are going to die, and then agriculture companies are going to be going out of business. Same thing as what happened in 2009. And we already know about that drought. And then it can go to critical rainfall and groundwater defect or hydrological drought. It means that the groundwater is also getting affected as well, like the Swings groundwater basin and the Carmel Aquifer and the Seaside groundwater basin. So here's an example. Just think of you put a straw straight underneath the ground, and then you just suck all of that water straight from that straw and then just put it into the atmosphere. That's what it's like. And also, usually a drought is actually it's a lack of rain, which accounts for low levels of rainwater, or the soil doesn't have that much nutrients, which I just explained about all of that. And also, this causes the soil to deplete, which means die off. And once that happens, then we can plant flowers, like all flowers, crops, fruits and vegetables. Everything that we needed, just gonna die. But, and also, according to my research, that might also cause the drought is that California American Water, our water company, is taking too much water out of the rivers and lakes and reservoirs that we have in Carmel, which means that CalAm has been using too much water, so that means they have to find another water resource, which is desalination. But also, according to Dr. Carol Reed, if you saw her presentation, she also explained that the pros and cons about desalination. And desalination may be a good idea, but it's also not. But what's also coming with this desalination plant, CalAm is behind schedule because they were supposed to be making this desalination plant in 2011. But the year is going to end by 2020. That's when the desalination plant was supposed to be finished. So they're a few years behind. This is why they're making all these commercials to say oh, everything's going fine, we're building that desalination plant. But no, they're a few years behind schedule. The challenges of life on the Monterey Peninsula. The drought affects us in many ways. Low water levels leaves us with no food no food or water to drink, to wash, to bathe, etc. But with this drought can also affect the crop usage, which I said about the crop usage. Because if it affects our crop usage, then everybody's gonna go on a food strike on the agriculture companies. And then they have to triple or double the price of like lettuce, tomatoes, fruits, and other veggies and fruits, which is gonna cost more money because all these fruits and vegetables are not growing because of the drought. And also, if we don't have food, then we would just starve to death. This is why we're going on a food strike and others. This is what the Monterey Herald says in an article about drought. Was an innovative idea headed to the ballot in June. That will require studying a public buyout of California American Waters, or CalAM. The Monterey system and the Monterey Water Authority will consider a study of its own. Where's all the water? The drought timeline. Oh. So, you know him, Governor Jerry Brown. And this is him for the drought emergency. So according to this poster that you can see that 1970 was at close by 24% of water was water. And also if you go to 1980, you can see that the water levels are going high, and especially by the by 1984. And then it just goes so on, and then like it's going up and down, up and down, up and down, because like we're going through drought right now during some of the years. And then we stop right here in 2014, and you can see that we're stuck at the 5% line. That means that there's no water that we can use to wash, bathe, and also to grow our crops that we need, because California is the biggest salad bowl of all time. And technically, this is why CalAM is going to be doing a desalination plant. So the Drought Monitor. You can see by January 14th, 2014, you can see that the whole entire Monterey Bay is covered in this bright red. That means D3, or extreme drought. D3 is a fancy name in science. And then this is April 8th, 2014. You can see that we're all covered in into this dark red. That is exceptional drought, or D4, another fancy name. But you can also see that some of the D3 or extreme drought is also covering most of the state. But you can see by January 14th, 2014, it was covering some of the state. But it's mostly covered not so much. Dr. Carol Reed slides on drought, which is you. So this is what it is for her presentation. California Drought 2014. She included the Sierra snowpack statewide, the rainfall statewide, the central coast of the water, and also the percent drought area. You can see that 91% of the state serves severe drought. 22% odd state, exceptional drought, which is also Monterey is doing exceptional drought right now. I think that including by this weather pattern may be El Nino, because you can see the ridiculous high weather pads, because it looks like El Nino, because everybody knows about the early 1989 through 1990.
82, 83,
82,
83,
82, 83.
97, 98.
Yeah, 70, 98. So everybody noticed about El Nino during the time, especially for the parents. And also Dr. Carol Reed. So this is actually a ridiculous weather pattern, which is also close by Christmas, there's going to be no Nino. So this is also going to do a lot of damage. So this is rainfall and PDO signals. You can see that by 1924 to 1945, the PDO signals has been going down when you make it to 1945. And then 1946 and through 1976, you can see it's been going a little bit up and going down. That's because during the 70s, there was a drought. The most severest drought that California could ever have. Then 1977 to 1998, you can see that the drought is kind of over, and then you can see that it's been going up and up, which means the drought is over. But through 1999 through 2010, it's been going down. California drought. The tree ring data suggests droughts were longer and more severe by the San Jose Mercury News. Medical megadroughts. You can see by the percent drought area, the white means wet and also the black means dry. One lasted for 240 years. You can see that most of it has been going real deep, but especially the 180-year drought. You can see that this gap is so bigger than the other gaps right here, and also this one as well. And then during 1400, you can see that there was kind of a small gap, and then by the mid-1470s, I think, is kind of the same gap right here. And then you can see that you can notice a little gap right there, which means a little drought. Then PDO signals. Then it's been going warm, cold, warm, cold, warm, cold, warm, cold, warm, cold, warm. Okay, that's a tongue twister. So you can see by 1850 California state, you can see that right there, that was a mini gap, which that represents as drought. Reservoirs affected by drought. You can see by 2011 that all the reservoirs that we have is actually over the line or just at the line. But most of them were over, like Lake Shasta and also Don Pedro. But now you can compare for today that Shasta's below, but Don Pedro is also low. But except for Hetchy, that's also another tongue twister.
I know.
You can see that it's a kind of a bit over, but for our other ones, they're just dry, almost dry. Special thanks. Special thanks to Mr. Spedding, students from California State University, my dad, my mom, my grandpa, my best friend David, and others, including Dr. Carol Reed. And also here's another picture.
That's cool.
Here's the tips to save water. So I'm going to give you some hints and tips to save water. Reduce your water use at home by 20%. Turn off the faucet always. That's one of the biggest water problems that we have, turning off the faucet. You always have to turn off the faucet, then you're just wasting water if you don't turn it off. And then collect rainwater so that you can recycle it, or you can just use it to water your plants. And also take short showers by 1 to 5 minutes, because everybody likes to take maybe a 20-minute shower. Learn more about drought. You can learn more about drought from the California American Water Company, the Monterey Peninsula Water Management District, Dr. Carol Reeve,
I have a website.
and also the MRWPCA, or the Monterey Regional Water Pollution Control Agency, and also caution may be warning. Conclusion. So in conclusion, the drought is still a mystery, but at least we learned something new. Well, I hope that everybody had a really great time watching my presentation. This is my bibliography. You can see that it's totally crazy. That's all, folks. Questions?
No.
So, any questions? Mark.
How does a drought get started?
Oh, never mind. Sorry, but no questions.